All right, folks, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music, doing it in real time for a few people out here, just like you there, and just like me here. Keith Howland over there. Keith, say hello.
Hello.
You can point. You can point if you want to now, because nobody saw what
Oh
you did.
yeah. Okay.
All right,
You people out there.
there we go. And we got Doug Kistner here. Doug, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What is this all about? Why are you here today? Oh, Studio Deluxe. Tell us about what that is.
It's a project that just sort of fell together um, because after a long time of not wanting to write a song or bother to finish a song or any of that, I started to do it again. And really, I asked Liberty, hey, do you think, because I play in a band with Liberty for quite a while now.
Liberty DeVito. We're talking about Liberty DeVito.
Right.
Used to play drums for Billy Joel for like 100 years. Was an unbelievable drummer. I
Hmm.
guess finally saw Billy not too long ago, and that was kind of a cool thing. But yeah, what's your history as far as music? Because people might not know. They might know Keith. They might not know Keith. So I'll put fill in the blanks there too. But Doug, you've got kind of a colorful music history. I was using Google and it was somewhat helpful,
Hmm.
but you might want to
Okay.
fill in the blanks.
I mean, I'm pretty much a freelance keyboard player. Played some gigs, some shows with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, John Waite. Who else? Not a lot of big names. Danny Seraphine, one of my,
Yeah.
I'm, a big Chicago fan, lifelong. So he was big on my list to play with him, and there's a few others that I can't even remember. Summer of Love, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I played with for a little bit.
Nice. Yeah.
Glenn Burtnick and Liberty DeVito. His Lords of 52nd Street was sort of the original Billy Joel band got
Bef-
together.
Before all those other ones came out, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But the drummer, sax player, rhythm guitar player got together,
Yeah.
and I play synth. When they put that together, they called me to play synth and background vocals, and so that's how I got to know Liberty.
Right. So those are some big names. Are you buddies? You know my friend Jeff Scott Soto, since you're in Trans Siberian.
I know that name. I don't
Yeah.
know him.
He's a singer. He's a singer. I don't know when you were in
Okay,
that,
I know
but
that name.
yeah, he's one of the singers, and
Hmm.
he's pretty good. He's all right. I'm not going to give him too much credit, but
Oh, come on.
no, Jeff's
Hmm.
amazing. He's a good guy.
Uh,
I just like to make. He watches these videos and he says, "Hey, you mentioned me again today," so I managed to do it again. Um, so Doug, why this band is just a vehicle for these great songs that you're writing? You've got a brand new song out. You sent it to me. By the way, thank you for reaching out to me. That was really cool. By the way,
No, thanks for having us on. That's really cool of you. Thank you. And when I read your description, which was a long time ago on YouTube, but the description was like just I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's sort of real music for
real
for
people.
for the slightly older generation that are looking for real, good
Yeah.
music. That sounds like a very old, you know, uh,
Well,
an old person's view of it, but
yeah.
and it is. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean,
you were
it's
you were like the perfect like this guy is gonna like what I'm doing. I hope he hears it because I
yeah.
think he's gonna like what we're all doing because the people on it with Bill and Keith and Liberty, everybody just sounds great
Yeah.
together. We just blend on it. I don't have to, I'm just kind of putting a song together and a song that I think, okay, this is going to work. This is a good tune,
Yep.
and let's see, and let everybody do their thing. And it's just it sounds great with everybody. I mean,
Yeah,
Keith's
the new song, just to give people the name so they go look for it. It's called "Easier Said Than Done," and Keith you are just tearing it up, brother, on that track, man. You just sound, you know, I think it was Robert Lamb, right? You can correct me on this, that said you were the only guy when they auditioned that had that Terry Kath kind of growl. Like you did something and they were like, this is the guy. This is the guy we want in the band. Is that correct? Or am I, and who said it? Maybe maybe it was Jimmy who said it.
It was actually, yeah, it was actually Pankow. He said all the other guys on 25 or 6 to 4 kind of went, nah, 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 nah. He said, and you went, I was like, okay, I'll take it, you know?
Yeah, well, that's how you're supposed to play it, right? I'm thinking
Right.
that's and you know, I've seen you live a couple of times. In fact, I hung out with you and Jeff at the Players show with Bill. And that was phenomenal. You guys, I mean, are you still doing that stuff with Jeff and Bill?
Well, the Players still exist. Jeff and I are kind of on a rotating band with different drummers and different keyboard players. Bill, you know, if we get out to the West Coast, we'll definitely have Bill with us. Traveling and stuff is a little bit difficult these days
Sure.
for Bill, depending on like altitude and things like that. But yeah, man, you know, we just did a gig at the Suffolk actually this past weekend, and we had Ed Toth from the Doobie Brothers playing drums with us, and it was killer. And by the way, when I was headed to the stage, I saw this big cross that said Lords of 52nd Street. How did you guys get that?
Okay. They made that for us.
Wow.
There, I can't hear. Yeah, we've played there so many times,
Okay.
and then they hang that up, you know, on the stage when we play.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was something like, yeah, this is the only thing we've ever made for a band like that. And that's right. When you walk down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That was very cool.
Because I was walking downstairs and I went, I think I know the guys in this band. And I'm thinking, I think this is Liberty's thing.
Right.
And then I remembered you were in it. And so I thought that
I
was
would have.
an omen. I sort of did like a Notre Dame, you know, I kind of tapped it as I went by for good luck.
All right, bro.
We hit the stage.
I would have come out there to see you, but I was working too.
Yeah.
But I would have come out.
That's a great venue, and they got a great staff there. All the guys on the local crew are great. So
Where is this place now that you're talking about? Just for the audience.
Riverhead, New York, on Long Island.
Okay. All right. Yeah, well, Long Island, I mean, there's like 22 Billy Joel tribute bands at any time over there.
I know.
It's crazy. And then a couple of them come down here too. But I have to check out Lords of the 52nd Street for sure. I mean, you guys, do you sell merch? Because that to me seems like it would be perfect. You know, that design sounds like you're in some kind of street gang. I'm in the Lords of the 52nd Street. You know, I mean, you'd probably sell stuff to people who have no idea like what it is. I think it would be good
because it looks good. Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Doug, you've been writing songs for quite some time as a solo guy, putting songs out there mostly on the internet. Is anyone, I think a couple of your songs did pretty well somewhere overseas. Is that correct?
I don't
like on the iTunes charts or something like that.
Yeah,
I think I read it somewhere
for like a minute. You know what I mean? So nothing. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, look, I'm working with stuff here. You know, I'm trying to, but the music for the audience here, you were talking about, you know, real music for real people, all that stuff. I'm obviously the music scene today to me, like the pop scene is kind of dead. And so I look to things that are going to sound like the stuff I grew up listening to. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, you were totally into Chicago. Obviously since I was like the only guy who was probably going to see Chicago with Jason Scheff on that first tour. And I thought it was fantastic and the band was on point. And, even before that, I was a fan. But the thing is that type of music, made in the 70s, 80s, maybe into the early 90s a little bit. That's the stuff really that I think a lot of people, not just me, want to hear still. And what I get frustrated with is, I didn't even know this existed until you sent me that message over on X. I was like, really? Okay, this sounds too good to be true. Liberty DeVito, Keith Howland. This sounds good. Bill Champlin. And I listened to it, and of course I liked it. So it's not a stretch, and it's just sad that, there's not the same kind of reach that other stuff gets, for whatever reason. Maybe we're all just getting old and we're just frustrated with things. The old guy on the lawn telling the kids to bug out, but I think there's some truth to that in the sense that we grew up listening to music from the 50s up until like I said, maybe like 1992. And you were like, this is all really good stuff. But then stuff happened after that. And so now we're all kind of fishing around looking, for music, because that's the way people do it now. They're like, well, my tunes are on Spotify if you want to listen to it. Well, I'm used to albums, speaking of Bill Champlin, right? So I'm used to albums. This is a collector's item, apparently. So the Runaway album, which is phenomenal.
It's a great album.
David Foster, pretty smart guy, David Foster. So anyway, Keith, you want to weigh in on any of this? What do you think of all of this stuff?
I will weigh in. And first of all, when Doug asked me to play on this stuff, when he sent me the tracks, I was actually, I guess, pleasantly surprised would be a way of putting it, because there's so little stuff that I get to play on now that is that organic, I mean, it's real musicians playing real music for people like you
in real time. You forgot that. Yeah.
That's right. And and to get to play with Liberty, and I mean, and of course then I hear Champlin in there, and it's like, old home week for me.
Yeah.
Hearing Bill. But the material is great, and I hope I get to play on more of it, because it's been one of the few things that I've gotten to really kind of just be me on, and do my thing. And Doug trusts me with he just sends it to me and says, do your thing, and I send it back, and that's how it works,
I really appreciate that, man. Those compliments about the songs, and yeah, from the first note that you sent on the tune, well, you played on two songs, but I remember hearing the first note, because it's really a keyboard intro, but you came in with this beautiful this beautiful guitar sound from the first note. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be great. And then, you played an amazing solo in the middle. And then on the fade, you just like totally, it was just perfect. Wow. And then on the other song, which will be out, I guess, next month, those guitar parts were fantastic too.
That one,
that's called Nothing. And I sent that one to Dave too, just so we could hear it. I really haven't sent it to anybody.
So it's basically the Seinfeld of it's called Nothing.
I can't talk about it either. I can't talk about how good the song is.
When you put the song on, there's complete silence for 4 minutes, and then it ends. Nothing.
No, it's like a Keith Howland Tris and Bowden record. It's like all this jamming and artistic crazy stuff. Who would want to listen? I used to listen to that album all the time, and I was like, these guys are pretty good musicians. I mean, they're in Chicago for a reason, because they're. Speaking of, has anyone seen Tris? What's he up to? Have you talked to him at all, Keith?
Yeah, I've talked to Tris a bit. He's living in Vegas now, and he's got his Tris and Bowden's yacht Stars band,
Ooh,
which is a
nice.
whole collection of like guys that actually made that music, and they're doing all the yacht rock stuff.
Very
So
cool.
they put on sailors hats or anything, but
Yeah.
but I've seen some YouTube videos of them. They sound great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like all the cats from back in the day that made that music.
Mm.
Yeah. Again, I could go off on a tangent and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a fan of the term. Me and Donald Fagen, by the way, are on the same page. I'm not a
Mm.
fan of the term. And then the media tried to spin it like, no, he really liked it. His agent called us back. He didn't like it because the music, it was just good music. And it was, I like to call it quality rock. That's what I like to call it. Stuff doesn't make your ears bleed. Typically
Mhm.
the lyrics are thoughtful. But there's more to it. I mean, you've got some of the greatest musicians in the world. You got guys like Lukather and Nathan East and all these guys. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys are totally missing the point about yacht rock. You're kind of cartooning it out. And it's fine to categorize it that way. I mean, I wouldn't call what you guys are doing here, Doug, that, but I could see why some people probably would, right? I don't know.
Right. I mean, yeah, to me, if it just gets heard and recognized, I don't give a shit what you call it,
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you call it,
Crap.
horrible and it sucks. But
Which
other
it
than that,
doesn't. Yeah.
and
No, I think the snarling B3 on Easier Said Than Done pretty much, and my guitar solo takes it out of the yacht rock.
it's that song, yeah, that song is not yacht rock.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to mention that. It's like
Mm,
there are progressive elements in that song. Like I hear a little bit of
right.
Yes, I hear a little bit of Deep Purple. I think the keyboard part there would bring it into that sort of John Lord-ish thing going on there. But yeah, it's not cookie cutter. You know what I mean? It's not like you went out to
Yeah.
make smooth rock. You made a song. It's melodic, it's catchy, but
Yeah.
it's got some
They're
twists.
all a little different. Like Slow Burn is one that Bill sang on, and that one's the most yacht rock, I would say. If anybody gets a chance to listen to that one, that
Yeah.
one's the most smooth, maybe the most smooth,
So is there a whole is
But
there
they're
a
all
whole
like, I'm gonna just gonna do anything in the ballpark
yeah,
that, I'm not gonna do anything really, really strange or really,
right.
but every tune has kind of got um, a little different influence, but at the same time, it's sort of in the same ballpark. Um,
So
yeah,
is there a whole album coming out? Sorry, Keith. I didn't want to
Oh, go
interrupt
ahead.
you.
I
I
want to
didn't
hear I want to hear about what Keith has to say,
Yeah,
but
go
I
ahead.
think I might put that out the next thing because I have enough songs to put an album out.
Cool.
And since it's just kind of a project that I don't really know what it is, like there's different people coming in and out of it. Um, but I do have enough to put an album out, and I might do that. And some people want like this. The whole notion of printing the CDs is just kind of ridiculous, but because they're not in the cars anymore.
Yeah,
But
I
some
know.
people are like, why don't you have it on a CD? And so some radio wants you to like classic rock. Certain rock stations are saying, oh yeah, send them the CD. They want a CD. I'm like, what? But what are we talking about?
They
So
probably
that's a
don't want a
whole other
CD.
thing.
They
But
probably don't want a
so
CD. I want the CD because you know why? Because I do the displaying thing. Like I go,
yeah,
here's a CD, and that's the only reason. I mean, I like to have physical things too. I think it's just
yeah,
who I am.
yeah.
But um, anyway,
What was
Keith,
what
Keith,
was Keith gonna say?
we interrupted Keith, the great Keith Howland.
No, I was just gonna say, was that you on the B3 on Easier Said Than Done?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that is a nasty sounding B3.
Well,
So,
you know what? I haven't. Bill loved it too. Actually, he said, "Wow, Doug, you're sounding great on the V3." But actually, what I did is it's actually two. I used two different organs through a Leslie pedal and one. So I'm not actually on a B3 there, but it sounds really, really
It's what
strong.
I thought it was a B3 too. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean it. Yeah, I played my digital Hammond and then I played this other rolling keyboard through that vent Leslie pedal, and I kind of tracked it. I tracked it twice, and so
Yeah,
it just came out. I just like, let me do another track, and I ended up like, oh, let's. There's sort of a left and right of two different organs.
of snarling organs.
That's cool. I'm really glad you like it. Thank you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So Jeff Scott Soto watches this program sometimes.
Yeah, he does. You know why though? He just needs more content for, what he's going to say to me. Like, in other words, like, I heard you say something wrong the other day and I'm going to correct you. It's pretty much what he
No,
does.
no, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Jeff sang with Yngwie Malmsteen's band.
He did.
Yes. Is that him on I Am a Viking? That song? Or do you know?
What year was it? He left.
Oh Lord.
He left.
I think that's on
Is it Rising Force?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
That's my favorite Jeff Scott Soto vocal.
Yeah.
He had me laughing as he was saying, I am a Viking. I come to pillage and whatever.
Whatever, exactly. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, he'll really appreciate that. I mean, he gets along so well with Yngwie these days, so no, I don't know the whole story. Yngwie I've heard is interesting, but I'm not gonna go down that road. All right. Yeah, Jeff Scott Soto. Yeah, he was also briefly in Journey, if you guys remember.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Great. He's a great singer, man.
Yeah,
really
he was he rescued a tour for those guys, so that was pretty cool. So let me ask about, like, not touring or anything, but would you guys ever go out and do a couple of gigs as this new Supergroup Studio Deluxe? Even though it's studio, people are thinking, oh, it's just for the studio. See, it's in the name.
Right. I would love to. We had a false start about doing it. There's a couple people that want to book us and give it a shot.
Cool.
So I'm not exactly, like, it's very difficult with everybody's schedules and
traveling.
We need to rehearse at least once.
I don't know, but you got Bill. If you got Bill and Keith, they don't rehearse. They just get up there and play.
Yeah, I could. I'd love to do it. I don't know if it will happen, but
Keith, man, you'd be in on this, right? For sure. No, maybe.
I would definitely jump in. Yes, I would indeed.
Yeah, and
more stuff to play on, man.
Good for you.
Fantastic.
Any other side projects for you right now, Keith Howland? Are you you're not interested in being in a band again, like full time, are you?
Well, it would have to be the right situation and the right circumstances, but the days of like being on the road for 110 shows a year, I'm probably not that interested in that. That's kind of
your old band is out there a lot. Last year they did I thought it was a brutal schedule for guys who are, approaching octogenarian status. I'm thinking to myself,
yeah.
I mean, I like getting to bed and going to bed, sleeping 6-7 hours, and I don't know how they're doing it. It's crazy.
Well, that's, if I had my own band that had been that successful, and I mean, what do you retire to?
Yeah.
So I'd still be out there, banging around until somebody didn't want to hear me anymore. But
right.
And obviously playing live music is something that I really enjoy. Although all the peripherals I enjoy less and less and less, the traveling and the hotels and the being away from home and whatnot. But but yeah, man.
All right, I'll keep that in mind, because there are certain people I talk to, and every once in a while they'll say, "Hey, do you know anybody who can do this?" And I go, "Of course I do. I don't know if they want to do it, but I'm trying to think of somebody. Oh, I have a singer who told me that they would be a part of a band recently that had the REO Speedwagon Fallout thing. There's
Hmm.
somebody I know who said to me, "Just send them my stuff," and I'm like, I think they know who you are. But it was just interesting because I think it, like you said, it has to kind of be the right circumstance and maybe with a
Yeah.
decent catalog of music, stuff you could play and not get bored with. I mean, I know Keith is a good guitar ad libber, so I'm sure he wouldn't get bored out there. What about you, Doug? Are you looking for a permanent thing to do out there, or are you just happy doing the studio stuff?
Well, I mean, I work with I play gigs with a few different bands.
Yeah,
Um, but really, I would like to be playing with this thing if I had my choice, because we would be doing great cover songs, like really cool stuff, plus throwing these in as well,
right.
and
That would be cool.
and it would be well, it's just great to be, by the way, playing with these guys, like not doing covers, doing our own thing. It's just great to be
You know what?
to
You
be
know what,
working
Doug?
with Bill, Liberty, Keith, and
I see you.
everybody.
I kind of see you as like a musical director here, and I'm thinking I always have these stupid ideas that I don't know. I put them out there just for the fun of it, but all of these ex Chicago people are out there. There's just a lot of them. Um, I could see another band emerge from all of that. I mean, Jeff is out there, and Jason is out there, and all these people are out there. You got singers, you got Bill, who's amazing. You got two drummers at least, right? That could step in there. You got one guitarist at least, and I'm thinking, and obviously Jeff sings and plays bass, which I think it was very really important in Chicago to have a bass player that sings. I think that was the whole point. And I
Right,
and I, and I
right.
kind of I kind of missed that because we had three in a
Hmm.
row that did that really well. Um, but I mean, there could be if these guys decide, hey, this is the last year we're gonna do 300 dates, not 300, but 100 and something dates,
Yeah.
and people are looking like they're looking to the Billy Joel tribute, because they can't go see Billy for whatever reason. Billy doesn't do a lot of gigs or isn't nearby, or maybe the ticket prices are a little too high. Um, and people, hey, it's the music of Billy Joel. I want to go see it. So I don't know. I just put it out there because this is all. I mean, was it Generation Radio? I don't know if you heard of those. That's Jason's thing, I think.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
that is they do. I think they do a lot of Chicago and different stuff. They do Journey. I think they do
Hmm.
a number of different things, and they sound good. They sound good, and it's legit because you got people who were there at the beginning.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, both of you guys, I think, would be perfect for that stuff. Not trying to influence anybody. Anyone sees
Well,
this video, and get the video out there to whoever, and maybe the phone will ring, and you guys will send me a small check in the mail or something.
maybe you want to manage it. You manage it.
Well, I can manage it, but you got to be the musical director, I think. I think you're the guy. I think you're the guy behind the scenes playing the keyboards, which is similar, I think, to what Chicago is doing now. They have somebody who's doing that stuff. So I'm thinking you could be the guy to organize it and get it together, and then I'll make the phone calls for you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that good at that stuff. This is what I do. This is what I was born to do. So, I do my best at this, and if anything else happens, that's somebody else up there orchestrating it. So in any event, so you guys, as far as the music itself, you'll keep putting out studio deluxe music, Doug, with maybe different people. Is that the plan for the foreseeable near future?
Yes. Right now, we have another one coming out next month, but I'm sure, like, Keith's gonna be, if Keith wants to do the next song beyond that, definitely he's gonna be on it as far as I'm concerned. Um, Liberty wants to play on everything.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and so we'll just Leland Sklar's on the next
Get
tune.
out. You got Lee Sklar to play in a
Lee
song?
Sklar, yeah, he's on that
Holy
song. Nothing.
crap. He's
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah. I was very surprised that to get it to get him,
wow.
and yeah,
Wow,
and
that
he was like, sure, I can
how
do it.
many he's I think he does a YouTube channel, whatever. He's
Right.
played
I
on
hope that he puts
so
out
many
the song. I
records.
don't know, like he might help us,
Yeah,
but
he has played on so many records. It's just insane. And he's
mhm.
so good at what he does. And that's why everybody wants to play on their records. That's cool, man. You'll have to send me that when that comes out. Um, Definitely looking forward to.
Will
So
do.
this is almost like better than just an ordinary supergroup because you don't really know who's going to be in the group next. You know, if you like the Keith Howland version, next month you get like the Lee Sklar version, and then Keith might be on it too. I mean that's very interesting. I think you have something here. Now, have you shopped any of this to anybody like a record label, Frontiers, somebody who might pick this up?
Well, it's funny. Yeah, Frontiers. I sent a couple of songs, the previous ones, and they said, "Wow, these are really quality songs. This is kind of too West Coast for our label." Now,
Uh,
ironically,
no, not
they signed.
necessarily.
Yeah, well, they signed a band. I have two songs on a band that they're releasing called Double Vision, which
Yes.
basically, yeah, they're a foreigner tribute, but they did get a deal to release original songs.
Yep.
And I know the singer, and I sent him two songs, and him and the producer loved both of them, and so that will be coming out. So they took technically like a Studio Deluxe song.
Nice.
They did that, and a much older song that I had a demo of, and so anyway, Frontiers is releasing a couple of my tunes, and maybe they will, maybe they will be interested.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
but so far, no luck. So far, no luck with labels. You know,
they've kind
um,
of changed their focus in the last couple of years. I mean, they used to
there's
just
probably just no money to, not enough
right.
money to be made. So we just got to get more well known out there, and just try to reach the right audience. And thank you for shedding some light on this whole thing. I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's the least I can do for a couple of quality musicians here. Keith, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Any parting wisdom for the music world that you can give to us? Maybe take life one day at a time. Don't work too hard. Do what you love to do, kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, all that applies. But also try to make enough money to survive. That's good. Let's see. Uh, I do want to say you kind of touched on something that I think is interesting because this coming weekend I'm doing a celebrity golf tournament gig with Jason, Danny Seraphin,
Nice.
myself, Peter Stroud from Sheryl Crow's band, Rob Arthur from Peter Frampton's group.
That's great.
That guy's John
Yeah.
Cafferty's going to be there, and the lead singer from the Romantics, and
Oh wow.
we're doing 4 Chicago tunes, which, except for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I've never really played with Danny, so I'm excited about that. And then later in June, we're playing a private party where it's going to be Bill, Jason, Jeff, myself. Who else is going to be there? I think Bill's son
Hmm.
be part of it. And that's going to be pretty cool to have all those guys on the stage. Think about the vocals going on with Jason, Jeff, and Bill singing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get me into that private event, send me a message. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Well, I don't I don't know for a fact that he's not selling tickets. It's a guy that throws big parties in his backyard. Basically, he has a big backyard, but
yeah.
still. So yeah, all these different formerly of guys are sort of commingling, and you know,
That's what I'm talking about. There's a band there. There's definitely a band, you know. Pick another town in Illinois and name it after that and go out there on the road. No, I don't know. Um, here
rock.
they are. Here they are, Peoria.
Right.
I'd love
Right.
to be talking about that. I mean, Frontiers would sell that. They would sell it. They would definitely sell it. You get a guy to design some cool album artwork for you, and you'd be off to the races. I bet you. And you know, people in Japan, for whatever reason, they love all the West Coast stuff. I mean, that's why
Mhm.
you have to get imports. You know, if you want like a Lou Pardini album, you got to go to Japan and buy it because it's not sold here in the States.
Mhm.
Doug, any parting words? And I appreciate you reaching out to me and doing this today. It was awesome. What do you want to leave the audience with? Where can we find all of this music to listen to? And I know it's uploaded to probably every platform, right?
Yeah, it's just on the wherever YouTube, whatever you like to listen to. I don't know, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, other places too. You could find it. So,
All
and
right.
Let's
yep,
let's clarify now. It's Studio D
D.
apostrophe Lux.
Right.
thank
So
you, Keith.
when you look it up, right, Studio Deluxe. That is, I mean, I'd be doing that. Like, it's not here. I put Deluxe in the, you know, it's people over a certain age, guys. We're just, you know, it's. I'm speaking for myself. I mean, you guys are probably good at
Oh,
all
I
No,
concur.
I'm with you. Oh,
technology. Like, how do you use this thing? My phone, it won't work. You know, whatever. I mean, I have small problems. It's like the Joe Walsh song. I let my little kid. He'll fix it for me. You know, it's just
Yep.
he'll figure it out. So, all right, guys. Well, best of luck in 2025. Blessings, and hopefully everybody eventually might make some money doing this, as Keith alluded to, because you know, playing music for free. Hey, you know, it's kind of like doing videos for free. It's the same thing. It's just
we
it.
we we don't play gigs for free, but
I know, but you're putting
but we're
basically
we're we're
putting out the
we're
music for
making
free,
we're
right?
making music. Yeah, we're making music. Yeah, we're collecting very little on it so far.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well,
yeah, we do.
spread the word, everybody. Studio Deluxe, Doug Kistner and Keith Howland. Thank you so much for being on the Harmless Dave channel today, guys.
Thank you, Dave and Keith.
Harmless Dave.